There are seasons in life when the silence is louder than noise, when your phone stops buzzing, invitations disappear, and even the people who once swore they would never leave slowly fade into the background. You pray, you wait, you wonder, God, why am I alone? You replay conversations in your mind at night. You question yourself. You question your worth. And in that quiet space, a dangerous thought tries to rise, that maybe you've been forgotten. But what if this silence is not punishment? What if this isolation is not rejection? What if God himself stepped in and said, "Let me take them away, because what I am about to do in you cannot be formed in noise"? This message is for the one who feels cut off, overlooked, and hidden. It is for the one who used to be surrounded by people, but now walks alone. It is for the one who feels like life plays him on pause while everyone else is moving forward. You didn't choose this season, but you're living in it. And tonight, this message matters because isolation is one of God's most misunderstood tools. We celebrate open doors, connections, applause, and favor, but we rarely talk about the quiet rooms where God does his deepest work. We rarely talk about the loneliness that precedes transformation. And yet, throughout history, God has always done his greatest shaping work in isolation. When God wants to change your life publicly, he first works on you privately. Before he lifts you, he hides you. Before he announces you, he isolates you. Isolation is not the absence of God. It is often evidence of his closeness, because there are things God needs to remove before he can release what he promised. There comes a moment when you realize that the crowd you depended on was never meant to go with you. You start noticing that conversations feel shallow. People misunderstand your growth. The things that once excited you no longer satisfy you. And slowly, God begins to pull you away, not aggressively, not loudly, but gently. A friendship drifts, a relationship ends, a group chat goes quiet, and suddenly you are alone with your thoughts. At first, it hurts. You ask yourself what you did wrong. You wonder if you are too much or not enough. You try to reconnect, to explain yourself, to hold on, but God does not allow it. Because the truth is this: some people cannot survive the version of you that God is building. And if they stayed, they would slow you down, distract you, or damage what God is forming inside you. Isolation feels like abandonment, but it is often alignment. In isolation, God removes the noise so you can hear his voice again. Without distraction, you begin to confront parts of yourself you used to avoid. You see your fears clearly. You see your insecurities. You see your dependence on validation. And it is uncomfortable because isolation strips away everything that once defined you except God. There are nights when you lie awake wondering why your prayers feel unanswered. Days when you scroll through other people's lives and feel like you are standing still. Moments when loneliness whispers lies, that you are forgotten, that you are behind, that you are invisible. And sometimes, even in faith, you ask God questions you never thought you would ask. But here's the truth most people never tell you. God often isolates those he intends to elevate. He isolated Moses in the desert for 40 years before leading a nation. He isolated Joseph in a prison cell before placing him in the palace. He isolated David in the fields before seating him on a throne. And even Jesus was led into the wilderness before beginning his ministry. Isolation is not a delay. It is preparation. When God allows isolation, he is doing several things at once. He is teaching you how to depend on him, not people. He is refining your character without applause. He is strengthening your discernment. He is rewiring your desires. And most importantly, he is protecting you. Some people would have destroyed you if they had access to the version of you that is coming. Some environments would have polluted your purpose. Some voices would have confused your calling. So God steps in and says, "Come away with me." In isolation, God becomes your company. Prayer becomes deeper. Tears become honest. Faith becomes real. You stop performing and start becoming. You learn to sit with yourself. You learn to hear God without the influence of others. And slowly, without realizing it, you are being transformed. Think of a seed buried in the ground. It looks like isolation. It looks like darkness. It looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the soil, a transformation is taking place that no one can see. If you dug the seed up too early, you would destroy the process. That is why God hides you, because exposure too soon would ruin what He is growing. One day, something shifts. You realize that the silence no longer hurts the way it used to. You realize you are stronger, calmer, clearer. You no longer crave validation the same way. You no longer chase approval. You begin to understand that this season was not meant to break you. It was meant to build you. And suddenly, you see it clearly. God didn't remove people to punish you. He removed them to protect you. He didn't isolate you to hurt you. He isolated you to heal you. What once felt like rejection now feels. Isolation is not God saying no. It is God saying, "Not yet, and not like this." It is a space where God reshapes your identity, strengthens your faith, and prepares your spirit for what is ahead. When the season ends, and it will end, you will not return the same person. You will return with wisdom, with clarity, with authority, with peace. And those who left will not recognize the person you have become. If you are it now, do not rush it. Do not fight it. Do not try to escape it. Let it do its work. Let God speak. Let God heal. Let God prepare you. Because when God brings you out of isolation, it will not be to return you to where you were. It will be to introduce you to who you were becoming all along. You were never abandoned. You were being transformed. And when the doors open again, when your voice carries weight, when your presence shifts rooms, you will look back on this quiet season and realize isolation was a womb, and you were being reborn.